Hey, so you're thinking you might want to live in Tequesta, Florida, but you don't have all the information you need yet? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Going to give you a little bit more information about Tequesta. What's it like? Pace of life. Where do you eat? Where do you shop? What are homes like up here? What's the overall feel of the area? Just some basic information that you need to know before moving to Tequesta. The good, the bad, the ugly, the great. Listen, if that's something that interests you, stay tuned because we're going to go over it all. Hey, this is Andy Johnson with the Andy Johnson Group over at eXp Realty. Super excited to be in Tequesta today. And listen, if this is your first time joining our channel, go ahead and click subscribe, ring that bell so you can be notified anytime we post new information about Jupiter and the surrounding area. Listen, every day we've got people just like you that want to call North Palm Beach County their home. And whether you're thinking about moving today, tomorrow, next week, or next year, we would love to hear from you. So please reach out. But anyway, let's get back to it. Why are we here? You want to know about Tequesta. What's it all about? Well, let's jump right into it and start with location. So Tequesta is located at the northernmost part really of Palm Beach County, and even parts of it are in Martin County. Now that is a good and bad thing. Let me tell you the good first. As opposed to a lot of other places in Palm Beach County, with Tequesta kind of being where it's located, it definitely feels a little bit slower here. Less traffic. There's really not a lot of reason for people to cut through Tequesta, and so it just feels nice, a little slower, not so many kind of hustle and bustle, just people enjoying the area. The bad thing about that is it is definitely going to take you longer to get to Miami, to get to Fort Lauderdale, Delray. You know, the West Palm Beach Airport, which is a great airport to go to, is going to be a little bit longer as well. There's no really quick ways to get over to Tequesta because it's super close to the water. So, you know, good and bad thing depending on what you're looking for. Now, I will tell you a good thing, and where I'm located right now, got the Intercoastal right here, got Blue Point Bar and Grill over here, which is awesome. I'm gonna take you in there. Really great food, overlooking the Intercoastal. They've got a pool in here. How cool is that? And then you've got the Dry Dock Marina down here as well. There's tons and tons of cool things to show you. We're gonna go look at some other spots and see what you think. All right, so here we are in Indian Hills in Tequesta, and technically this actually might fall a little bit outside of the boundaries of the village of Tequesta, but still super nice. And I have to tell you, it's so quiet, which goes along just like with what I said. You know, there's just not as much stuff happening here. So one good or bad thing that you're gonna find about Tequesta compared to maybe Jupiter or Palm Beach Gardens is there are less gated neighborhoods here to choose from. It's a lot more just can kind of drive right up to the property. Now, for a lot of people, that's great. They don't want to deal with the gates. For others, where this is a second home, sometimes they feel like that gate adds another level of security, so they really want it. Now, I do have to tell you, Tequesta does have its own police force of 20 officers. Trackscout.com, I can't remember, did rate Tequesta as safer than 84% of cities in America. So there's nothing wrong with that either. One other thing I gotta show you really quick, just check this out. Like I said, this is called Indian Hills. That's a hill in Florida. I see a hill in Florida about every, I don't know, 2 months. We just don't have that very many of them, or have very many of them. So that's pretty cool too. But this is an amazing community. So I do want to take you over to the island as well, so you can see some of the parks and some of the views over here, because that's one of the things that's truly spectacular about living in Tequesta. All right, let's go check it out. Okay, so I am over on Jupiter Island right now trying to cross a road without getting hit while talking to you guys. So this is a really, really cool thing about up here in the Tequesta area on the Jupiter Island side that you don't have up and down. You know, the beach is right behind me and there's a cut through over there. But listen, sometimes the water's really rough on the beach. You know, if you have small kids, you don't necessarily want to hang out over there because it's harder to watch them. You know, you've got the undertow, or you may just have a lot of riptides going on, and so you don't want to be on the ocean side. So over here, up and down, you've got the Intercoastal, and you can see there's beach here that you can hang out on. Now, it definitely depends, you know, what the tide's doing, whether or not you're able to be down there and you have beach area or not. Also, there is limited space for this, so I don't know if you can see, like, it goes down that way, but it's not endless. So, you know, on the weekends, on a holiday, something like that, you definitely have to get here and claim your spot or get lucky later in the day, or these are filled up. But just a nice offering from the Tequesta area compared to kind of Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens, where this just really isn't available. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the walk in here. I'm at the Blowing Rock Preserve right now, which is one of my favorite places to come. It's a really natural beach. And what I mean by that is, let me do a quick spin. Check out the tree line behind me. What you do not see are any condos, any houses, or anything else like that. Really natural beach. It's got a great feel to it. Now, good and bad. You know, the thing about this is this beach is never going to be quite as busy. So if you like space between you and your neighbors when you're hanging out, that's awesome. If you like a lot of activity, this probably isn't the beach for you to come to. Another thing, this is the largest outcropping of Anastasia Limestone, I believe, on this side of the state. And down there farther is actually a really cool place to walk to. But over here on the beach, you're gonna have little pieces of limestone sticking out of the sand. So if you're hanging out over here, just really, really be careful, because stubbing your toes on that stuff really hurts. So next, I want to take you back over kind of onto the mainland of Tequesta, show you a couple of my favorite spots to eat when I'm up here, a couple areas where you can shop, and we'll wrap this whole thing up. All right, so here I am again in front of more water. That's just what we do down here in Florida. Right behind me over here, we have got Love Street. You've also got jetties and Utiki over here. These are in Jupiter, but if you fly across that bridge right there, you're standing over pretty close to Tequesta, which is where I'm at right now. So those are all really, really close to Tequesta. You know, to get to other restaurants farther in Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens, you know, that kind of stuff, you are gonna have a little bit of a drive, but you do have some great selections right in Tequesta. So Papa Chulo's is one of my favorite Mexican places. It's a little bit different, you know, I'm not saying traditional, but really like it. Really good food, cool outdoor space, great place to have a drink. You've also got the Tequesta Brewing Company, brew their own beers. You can take them with you, you can drink them there. They've got some strong ones, so if you drink the strong ones, you know, limit it to 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get 5, you should probably call an Uber. Then you have Evo, amazing Italian food, really unassuming kind of shopping center. You wouldn't expect to go into this place and have such amazing food at this Italian restaurant where they make all of their own pasta. I believe they make all of it. I know they make some of it, but I just know it's really, really, really good. You also have Casa Cana, kind of an eclectic menu. It's got South American, American, also Japanese food too. You've got a couple diners in Tequesta. And then, you know, shopping is another thing. You know, you're not gonna have the Whole Foods. You don't have Walmart. Costco is a drive, but you definitely have Publix up here, so it's no big deal. You know, the everyday shopping is easy to do. You know, we talked about earlier, you don't have the big malls, but you do have a lot of boutique options. Overall, Tequesta is such an excellent option and a great place to consider when you're coming to look in South Florida for a place to live. So there you go, that's right. I mean, I love Tequesta. What a great place to be. You know, we can't talk about the best and worst of living in Tequesta though without talking about the weather. And you know, Tequesta is gonna be the same as Jupiter in that regard. If you've seen our best and worst of Jupiter video, you know, you can't beat the weather in South Florida. We live in t-shirts and shorts pretty much all year long. I mean, it drops to 50 here and we put winter coats on because we're freezing to death. You know, it doesn't get any better. Now, summer summers are hot. I can appreciate that. People say, it's too hot there. And listen, if you got a place far up north for the winter, that is fantastic. But I got to tell you, Texas, Missouri, New York, all of them get hot in the summer. It's not that bad. The other thing people are always going to be concerned about are the hurricanes that we got here. And those are definitely serious things to consider. But listen, you put a plan of action into place. You always have time to evacuate if you want to, and it's definitely not a reason to stay away from this amazing place to live. So there you go. That's Tequesta, the best, the worst. You know, the location is great, super quiet, peaceful, feels really beachy here too. You are a little bit farther removed from things. You have a ton of great restaurant options. I know I listed off a few, but when I was driving over to where I'm at now, honestly, I forgot how many other great places are up here that I love to go and check out and eat. So, you know, shopping can be a little bit farther away, but the stuff that you have to have is absolutely in Tequesta. I mean, there are a ton of places to come, not just boutiques, but bigger shopping options as well, like Publix and Home Goods and things like that. So listen, if you're thinking about moving to the South Florida area and in the North Palm Beach County area, Tequesta should definitely be on your radar. And if you'd like more information about Tequesta or the surrounding area, we're here to help you with that. Whether you want to know just more about what there is to do, you know, what schools are like, what areas you should look into, what neighborhoods may suit you the best. Do you need a condo? Do you need a house? We're here to help you answer all of those questions. So please reach out to us anytime. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video today. I hope you got some great information. I hope you enjoy the next one too.